real power isn't in controlling the world, it's in mastering the choices that control you. We also need connection. Connection is the bridge between survival and significance. No matter how strong or independent we think we are, we need people. We need to care and be cared for. Connection isn't about having 5,000 followers on Instagram. It's about that one phone call that changes your day, that conversation where somebody really hears you. Welcome to the Shattered Mindset Podcast, wisdom from life's turning points and defining moments. I'm your host, Melvin Larry, and many of us wake up each morning with something inside us pushing us forward. Call it ambition, call it purpose, call it hunger. Whatever you call it, it's real. And today, I want to explore what author Brendon Burchard in his book, The Charge, calls the 10 human drives. I'll drop my Amazon link for his book in the show notes if you'd like to dig deeper, because he lays it out in a powerful way. But what I'm going to do here is share them through my own lens, through our conversations about mindset, growth, and living a life that matters. So let's talk about what drives us and how mastering these drives can change the way we live, lead, and even love. When life feels like it's out of control, that's when frustration builds. The bills pile up, the job or business demands more, the health issues sneak in. Boy, don't I know about that. And suddenly it feels like life is running us instead of us running our lives. But here's the thing. Control isn't about controlling everything around you. It's about controlling your response. There's a saying that life is 10% what happens to me and 90% how I react to it. Look, if you're in corporate leadership, the goals and objectives of the organization are usually laid out for you. But you have to put together yourself the strategies and process for achieving the objectives you have in contributing to the bigger plans. I tell a story about my boss talking to me and when I was in corporate, and he told me I had to make the month. He said, "You better make the month." I said, "Well, I won't make this month, but I'll make the quarter, which is the bigger picture." He said, "What are you telling me?" I said, "I won't make the month, but I got control of the whole situation. I'll make the quarter." He said, "You better make the quarter." But hey, listen, I knew the bigger picture. I knew what my objective was. See, incompetence is tied right to this. We all want to feel like we're capable, like we've got what it takes, right? And let me just tell you, competence doesn't come from waiting until you feel ready. It comes from stepping in, failing a little, learning and getting better. That's where confidence is born. But there was also a learning curve when moving into my management roles, not knowing everything, but growing into it. So I had to develop my skills. I had to develop myself. Listen, that same leader, that same manager, that same director had talked to me and said, "Listen, if you want to move to the next level, tell me, what is your claim to fame?" So I had to develop a claim to fame. I had to put together some things and some processes and some systems, and I had to be creative and reach inside of myself and so forth and come back and say, "Hey, I'm ready for that next level. Here's my claim to fame." All right. And then there's congruence, simply living in a way that matches who you say you are. If I say I value family, but I never spend time with them, I'm really living incongruently. If I say health matters, but I'm ignoring it, that incongruence eats away at peace of mind. If I say I'm taking my business to the next level, but my activity doesn't match my goals, I'm not in congruence. It's been said that what you do speaks so loudly that what you say I can't hear. The real power isn't in controlling the world, it's in mastering the choices that control you. We also need connection. Connection is the bridge between survival and significance. No matter how strong or independent we think we are, we need people. We need to care and be cared for. Connection isn't about having 5,000 followers on Instagram. It's about that one phone call that changes your day, that conversation where somebody really hears you. Think about a friendship or mentorship that shaped you, maybe even the unexpected call you received at a critical moment. And caring, that goes both ways. We live better when we look out for others, but we also need to care for ourselves. Some of us are experts at pouring into others, but we're bone dry ourselves. Caring for yourself isn't selfish, it's self care. It's preparation to serve at your best. Here's the thing: change is uncomfortable, but it's inevitable. The question is, do you resist it or do you grow through it? If you followed this podcast, you know I believe our lives are shaped by incidents, accidents, environments, but it's what we do with those shifts that define us. They're the challenges that change us. In fact, there is no change without challenge. If your life feels too easy, chances are you're not stretching. And stretching is where growth happens. You don't build muscle, you don't build character without challenge. Look, we're like rubber bands. We have to stretch. A rubber band is nothing without stretching. It has no purpose, just sitting there. But when you strap it, you can wrap it around this, you can tie up this with it, blah, 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 blah. And our lives are the same. We have to be stretched. And growth doesn't come from the path of least resistance, it comes from the path that makes you stronger. And sometimes we just want to feel and be free, free to live, laugh, and express ourselves. Hey, did you know that creative expression is one of those things people often overlook? Now, don't box that in. It's not just about painting or music or poetry. It's the way you solve problems, the way you tell stories, the way you bring your uniqueness into the world. Our willingness to express ourselves creatively, to take the time to let those juices flow, man, that's freedom. Often we have so much noise going on inside of us that we don't see, hear, or feel the signals that enable us to release the creative in us. Go for a walk, sit on the porch, a deck, or patio, take a drive alone, take a trip. Stop the noise, relax, listen, think, meditate, listen. Okay, come back, come back. All right. Look, what this does is enable us to contribute. And contribution is legacy. This is what I'm most passionate about. Contribution is when your life starts to echo into someone else's. It's the stories you pass on, the lessons you teach, the examples you set. That's wealth right there. Look, even and especially when it comes to social media, I don't want to be a consumer there. I want to be a contributor there. Scroll to learn, to research and gather information, but don't fall into a state of social media unconsciousness. Look, being awake to the fact that life isn't just happening to us, it's happening through us. When you're conscious, you stop running on autopilot. You start living intentionally. Legacy isn't built in the future, it's built in the choices you make today. So when you think about these 10 drives: control, competence, congruence, caring, connection, change, challenge, creative expression, contribution, and consciousness, don't just treat them as concepts in a book. See them as mirrors. Each one is asking, How alive am I right now? How fully am I living? The shattered mindset is about breaking away from the patterns that keep us stuck and leaning into the drives that move us forward. Look, I got to go, but until the next time, keep adapting, keep evolving, and keep reaching for those new horizons. I'll see you the next time on the Shattered Mindset Podcast. Take care, take charge. God bless.